I've been thinking a lot about lately because it's the whole, basically everything that all the people that I work with want to create, and it's freedom. Financial freedom, freedom to travel. You know, right now this week I'm in Colorado and I'm hiking and I'm at this event and I'm also working, and it's like freedom, right? It's the freedom to go. I'm self-employed. I have the financial ability to come here and spend a week and work and hike, and it's amazing. Like, that is freedom. But when I got here, I felt not free. I felt guilty for being here. I felt like, you know, maybe I shouldn't have, or that, you know, you take yourself with you is kind of what I mean. And so it's like this idea that what we create or what we get is what provides us freedom. And I wanted to share not a long video, because I just actually filmed the video a minute ago that goes into this in much greater detail. So I just wanted to share a metaphor with you. The actual freedom and happiness, well, let's stick with freedom. Actual freedom is created from the inside out. Inside out. Nothing you create in the world, no amount of money you make, no amount of trips you can take, or people that you can work with, or talks that you will give, or success that you create in the outside world is going to create the freedom you're looking for. It might create financial freedom where you can go and travel in Colorado and work for a week, but it's not going to create inner freedom, which is the real ultimate freedom. Inner freedom is about the energy of emotion. Inner freedom is about no matter what happens to you, you're fine. I have a group of clients that I'm working with, and one of them is in a really financially difficult, well, two of them actually are in a really financially difficult space. One of them is freaking out about it, and one of them is saying, yeah, this sucks, and I have no idea how I'm gonna pay my bills, and at the same time, I'm gonna move to a completely different city and make it work with, you know, $5 in my bank account. One of them is free from money, the other one isn't. Now we're working on being free and creating money at the same time. But my point is, freedom is created on the inside, and it's created by feeling emotion, but not in the way that you're used to feeling emotion. The way that we feel emotion is, I wake up feeling pretty good, and then I'm going about my day, and the client that I thought was going to work with me emails me and tells me she's changed her mind, and now all of a sudden I feel so upset because I was really attached to us working together, and now I feel like, oh my God, that's how I was gonna pay this and for that, and I get really upset because something on my outside world triggered an emotional experience on the inside. And so I go, this is hypothetical, so you go into this mode of, now that this person says no, how do I fix it? And we go into this mode of fixing it by changing the outside world. Now I gotta go find another client so I can get that feeling that I wanted to feel. But it's like this. So this creek here, you see it's traveling this way. This is, imagine that this creek is your emotion, and it has all the energy of this gravitational force of this water pulling it downstream. And it's carving a path. It's carving a path through the earth because there's so much energy behind it. But what we do is go, I don't want to feel that. So I'm going to try to suppress it. I'm going to try to shove it down. Or I'm going to try to fix it a different way. But what you'll notice about this creek is that it's finding a different path. That it's carved out a path over here. And it's carved out another path over here. And energy just keeps finding its way through a different avenue until it makes its way back to the energetic flow, the path that it needs to take. So when you repress an emotion, when you shove it down and try to change the outside world to give you that feeling in a different way, instead of just allowing it to move through your body, you think that you're controlling your inner world, but you're not, because that energy is gonna find another way to flow. That emotion is gonna come out in a different way. And the way that that emotion and that energy comes out in a different way is through something called personality and stories. So what I mean by that is, when you don't allow yourself to process and feel the anger of never getting to go on vacation as a child, you repress it and you repress it and you repress it your whole life, right? You become like, you try to block the flow of that water. because as a kid you didn't know how to deal with it, and as an adult that anger is still in your body, but you don't know, it's way deep down and it's not connected intellectually. As an adult you develop habits that are really, really not in service to you. Maybe you spend a ton of money, or you refuse to save money, or you have this like weird relationship to money, and like everything you don't get feels like sacrifice. Right? This is how this would show up later. And what happens is when you don't get something that you want, your energy goes from there to there, right? You try to stop it, you try to block it because it doesn't make sense. But it flows over to this channel as really poor spending habits, or really feeling like you never get what you want. And you create this story to justify and explain that feeling you have in your body. You create this story of, I never get what I want. I'll never be successful. Everybody else gets what they want, but not me. I don't deserve my happiness. That's what happens to emotion that's trapped in your body. That's what happens when you don't let the emotion carve that deep path and just flow. You develop a story about it. Because when we don't feel emotion and allow it just to flow through our body, we create a story to explain why it's there. When we don't allow ourselves to feel the emotion that's trapped in our body, we create a story to explain why it's there. And those stories that we tell and we create little by little by little by little by little shape our personality, they shape our worldview, they shape who we are, what we think we can have and what we think we can't have. And from that worldview emerge actions that you take or you don't take. You don't save money, you spend all your money. That creates the result of financial struggle. Financial struggle limits your freedom to go and do what you want. Not your inner freedom, it limits your outer freedom. And so what the path to the actual freedom is, in this example, would be to feel anger when it comes up. But not like, I'm still mad at my dad. It's like, I just feel the physical feeling of anger, and I'm gonna just direct you to the other video because I don't wanna go into that here. You let that energy move through your body. Emotion, like water, is just energy. Emotion, energy in motion. That's what it is. But when we let it cool, or we put a rock in front of it, we end up with a story about why it's stuck there. The only reason it's stuck there is because you won't let it move through. And so the path to freedom is from the inside out. The path to freedom is allowing that water, that emotion to flow through you without explanation, without judgment, without having to understand it. Just process it. And when you allow that energy to move through you, it just flows. It keeps going downstream. The way it's meant to. Gravity takes it and it disappears. It just carves this beautiful pathway. And that inner freedom changes how you see the world. You see the world as like you're not subject to your emotions and you can create and do whatever you want. And from that worldview, different actions emerge to take action towards creating money, to creating your vision. And then you, from that action, create results. You create money, and there you create the financial freedom. But when you do it the other way around, you trap yourself. So the real path to freedom is just feeling. This is a deeper part of my work that's emerging as more and more and more and more important. And it's crazy the impact that it's having on myself. It's crazy the impact that it's having on my clients. And if you're more interested in experiencing this and understanding this, then reach out, share with me a result that you're experiencing in your outer world that you no longer want to be experiencing, and we'll work backwards to create who you're being on the inside that's creating that outer experience. This is so powerful. If you're interested in learning more about this, read the book Letting Go by David Hawkins. It's life-changing, profoundly life-changing. And certainly, if you want to do deeper work like this, if you want to create different results in the world, you want to work on it from a state of being instead of a state of doing, to create actions that are more aligned, to create what you want from the inside out, and have what you want now, then reach out. Let's chat. I'm here. Mwah.